Good morning, traders. So let's start off with the Aussie this morning. And as expected yesterday, we have got some pullback happening. And I think the question now is whether this is a pullback or whether this is just a new low. So the US markets have some very interesting patterns on, but I'll get to that when we do the US markets. Okay, so let's just get some of these weekly levels in before we go to the lower levels. So there is two that we need to worry about now, and this is probably the most important one right now, and that's the weekly Kijinsen. Just make it red. Okay, so from ichimoku perspective on the weekly, we are still bearish. Okay, so Chiku span is below price, the brown line. Kijinsen and Tiginsen have crossed over, and Tiginsen is pointing to the downside, and you can see how the cloud is pointing to the downside and looking like we're going to get a twist soon. So this is an exceptionally bearish setup at the moment on the weekly. We have a double top here on diversions. So you can see the OBV has a high there, and its next high is pretty much a double top, whereas price was moving to the downside. So this is a continuation pattern for diversions, which means we're going to be moving down. Are we moving to the bottom here? Who knows? But we definitely, for now, are pulling back. If we get down to the daily, so a couple of things going on the daily, and I think the first thing to take notice of is that we close below this uptrend line. Okay, so we definitely have closed below it. The big question here is, do we bounce here up or come and test this high, close this gap, or are we going to start moving to the downside and slowly sort of hit the weekly Kijinsen and the cloud, the 200 EMA, and see what happens at the 200 EMA. So for now, I think my bias is still to the downside, but obviously I want to get in with a bit as good risk to reward as possible. So what we have here is also a hanging man. You can see how we gapped up, formed a hanging man, and then gapped down. So that's definitely a bearish signal, and we've had confirmation, which is also bearish. Let's just get down to the 4-hour. Oops. Okay, so if we just delete this line and let's just work on a lower time frame so we can get the tails in correctly. So that was the original okay, you can call it a channel, you can call it a wedge, whichever you want. That was the original consolidation pattern. Okay, and we had some pretty serious diversions here while prices going up. So, and we've now broken this. So I suspect we're going to get more downside, and the downside targets are going to be as follows. Firstly, obviously the weekly Kijinsen will definitely hold up price. We will also have this level, okay, and there is a daily gap here as well. So if the weekly Kijinsen goes, then that's obviously the next level to worry about. And then we have, I'm just going to do that. We've got that level, and linked to that, we also have that level there. So those are kind of the short-term targets that I have, and that's still 1,300 points. So let's get down to the hour and just see what kind of entries we have. Okay, so from the hour you can see how I'm not entirely bearish on ichimoku. So you can see how Chiku span is in price at the moment, which indicates range. We're kind of in the cloud, which also indicates range, and we also have a bit of a double bottom here we closed on. So the only bearish signal we have here is this crossover. So we need to look at price action rather than focus on ichimoku at this moment in time. And from a price action perspective, you can see we moved to the downside, moved to the upside, moved to the downside. So what we have here is the beginning of a range. Okay. Now this could be a range as it is. So it could bounce a little bit and fall out, or it could just continue in this range. Okay. So for me, we have broken this channel to the downside, and we've come back to test this channel. And we've now pushed down for a second time. So I'd like to see us push up again, and I'll just delete that rectangle. What I'll be looking for is either that or that. Okay, so any one of these three areas here to offer resistance before we push another leg lower. Okay, now the important thing to realize is that we haven't taken out this low yet. Okay, so this low is still intact. So we have a higher low at this stage. So we really do need to take out this level for us to aim for the next level, obviously more to the downside. If we take out the top level here, then obviously the move is cancelled and we'll be back in this channel, and we'll be moving back to the top of the channel. So you're going to have to watch price action quite closely today, and I would suggest watching 15 if you've got time. It's open to see what's going on. Okay, so you can see we do have diversions here. Okay, the price is making a high, but it's making a low here, which is also an indication of continuation. So, and we were going up, so it could be another move to test the cloud here on the 15. Anything in this area, if we get any kind of bearish action here, then it would be a worthwhile short. Okay, you just got to watch this level here. If that breaks, then the bias changes and you go to the long side. So for now, we're looking for a retracement, and we're looking to get in short and move to the downside. What targets are we looking for? So as I said, obviously this is the first target. We're pretty close to it, and I think for me, I prefer doing this on the 3 hour. And it's a weekly line, but let's just put a proper level in. So there is my first level. This tail over here is my second level, and my third level is going to be there. Okay, and then you can see how this daily gap is on the weekly Kijinsen. So those are the 4 levels that I'll be looking at to the downside. And as you can see, just on the 3 hour here, a break above this high here puts us back in the channel, but it's also the 3 hour Kijinsen, which indicates that we'll be bullish. Okay, so a quick summary. Anything above there is long, and any pullback with bearish action below this level is an area to look for shorts. Okay, so that's kind of how I'll be playing it today, and I just can't see a solid entry that we can put an order in and wait. I suppose what you could do is you could look at this pin bar here, between these 2 pin bars here, but that's still almost 300 point stop loss, so your order is going to be pretty small. So I'm just going to wait and watch, see what happens on price action, and we'll move in as soon as I see something that is tangible. And in my mind, it will be somewhere in between these. It may also just gap down. Where are we now? 323. Now we're kind of pretty much where we closed. So just going to watch to see what happens. Any kind of pullback, I'm definitely going to be looking for another entry to the downside. So that's the plan for today. Hope it helps, and I'll catch you later.